Everyone wants to make and every year a smartphone which is completely perfect according to them. So this is one of the story of the flagship. This is RDP from Absolute Gizmos and this is the LG G3 review. So this is the LG G3, one of my daily driver phone for more than 2 weeks, one of the most anticipated, the most best flagship device what I could say I've ever seen. So in this review of the LG G3, we're talking of something the specs, what they actually did upgrade from the LG G2. There's a link down in the description if you didn't watch the LG G2 review or if you don't know what was in the LG G2, there's the link in the description. So if that was about the specification, we'll be talking of the build quality, we'll be talking of the performance, the third thing, fourth thing we'll be talking of the camera, and the last thing what we'll be winding up with some of the FAQs. If you talk something part of the specification of the LG G3, then it packs up Snapdragon 801 2.5 GHz quad-core processor, which is a bumped up. In the last G2 it was the Snapdragon 800. It does come with a 3000 mAh of battery, which is pretty amazing. If you talk of out of the box, it does come with Android 4.4.2 KitKat. And if you talk something about the camera, which is the 13 megapixel shooter, which was 13 megapixel right in the LG G2 also, but it does come with the laser autofocus, which is amazing, and dual tone LED flash. The front camera is 2.1 megapixel. This phone had one con, which everyone did complain that it doesn't have an expandable support. So right, the G3 has an 128 GB of expandable support, and this phone variant does come in two variants. One is 16 GB with 2 GB of RAM, and a 32 GB internal variant with 3 GB of RAM. If you talk of the screen, that is the best part in the LG G3. It's 5.5 inch 2K display, which was 5.2 inch 1080p display in the LG G2. If you talk something, the build of the LG G3, it's one of the most premium design phone. One thing what people did complain right in the G2 and all the reviewers even did, that the back was the fingerprint magnet. Yeah, but not in the case of the G3. This looks like an aluminium brushed like of metal, but it's actually made of plastic. It's a removable one. You can remove the battery too, which was not even in G2. I could say this really looks good, and the placement of the buttons at the back, which is done second time in the flagship device of the LG, I could say these buttons are improved and right feels more comfortable. If you are comfortable with G2, then you'll be definitely comfortable with G3 too. But if you have never used any of these phones, it would take 1 or 2 days to get comfortable with it. The phone, on paper, it's 5.5 inch, but it's really comfortable at hand. They have just fitted the phone inside a very small, what I can say, the dimension, something what they had in 5.2 inch phone. They had implemented the 5.5 inch display, which is again comfortable at hand. And I could say it's amazing. Rest all things are right of the same, and I could say this is what LG has done a good job in build and making it towards the closer, making it a very good Android phone. If you talk something right on the at the display, I could say it's the future. You can invest in this phone just for using it for the future purpose, because currently there are no apps which are being perfectly optimized for the 2K display. But I could say you can use apps, but it's at the lower resolution. There is no perfectly app which use the whole 2K display advantage. some of the LG apps does, but not all of the LG apps. In the software forefront, if we really talk something in terms of the software forefront, this was the one of the disadvantage in the G2, but they revamped everything, right from the icons, right from the interface. Again, it's the UI of the LG is as smooth as it was in the case of the G2, and I could say they had done incredible job. Incredible. I mean, really, this is again what it makes a best phone to buy. It's all because of its interface. And I could say keep going. They in terms of the bloatware, they have really added of the bloatware installed manually from the LG app, or some of the customization, like you can use the height of increase or decrease the height of the keyboard. Again, it's amazing, and also the gestures make it really amazing. If we talk something out of the performance of the LG G3, it's elegant at the gaming. As I told you, there is no perfect 2K apps, but it really does game very good because of the Snapdragon 801. It performs very well even at a 2K display. What thing it's all measures off? It's the benchmarks. It's all because of the 2K display. The benchmarks comes really down. Not so much down, but it acts on almost double the pixels, and which makes it a lower score in the benchmark. There's a link in the description which will show you all benchmark scores. And at the gaming forefront, we did test it. The phone doesn't heat that much. I mean, there's a decent amount of heat generated, which is pretty okay, and almost every Android phone does heat up. That was normal in terms of that. If I don't talk something, the camera of the LG G3, one of the key aspect what it make a completely unique phone, then it probably my review would be the face, the laser autofocus, one of the amazing thing, because it does focus very fast, but it also focus object over a long distance very amazingly and efficiently. That is what I really loved the most in the LG G3, and that's what I respect the LG for making it an amazing experience. Over 16 megapixels, that to recording in a 4K, it shoots video even amazingly, and again it focuses very fast in video too. And I could say I'm really impressed with the camera. This is the best camera I've been using in any Android device. It's not just me, but everyone would love the camera of the LG G3. All about the LG G3, what I really did. But there was one more thing what I did actually cover in the LG G2, which was about the USB OTG support. If you do ask me about what about the USB OTG support, so it does support it. Yeah, I did made a. You can watch out in the clip. It actually did detect it in the same default file manager. That was pretty impressive. So that was that about the USB OTG. What in terms of battery? What in terms of battery? If you talk something right in terms of the battery, the 3000 mAh battery, how far it's good. So it's been a daily driver phone for me. So I would say the battery life is completely lasts a day. It lasts at a normal 3G usage, at normal gaming, it lasts a day. Even after shooting right off many pictures, even still that time, it lasts a day. At full time 3G, it lasts for me about 7 to 8 hours, maybe. Yeah, that was about the same. And what about the heating issues? Some of them covered of the heating issues. So I would say the heating issues while gaming or while shooting lots of pictures, it was pretty decent. I would say that's the normal amount of heat that is being generated by an Android phone. So it's not something a majorly heating phone. So that's pretty normal heating issue. So that's all about the review of the LG G3. So if you have any questions, do write below in the comment section. Or if you like the video, do like it and do subscribe for more such videos. Till that time, peace.